Woo-doo-doo. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hi, friends. Nice to see you. Good to be here. My name is Dean, and in case you're wondering, because Lochlin will probably bring it up, yes, I have given up. I don't know. I don't think he's given up, but I mean, I got busy today. And listen, do you have to get ready for a podcast? No. Have I done a radio show without showering? Yes. For sometimes for a day or two at a time, because radio is different than video. And I know we got. Oh yeah, for sure.
I am not.
You're not what?
I have to.
Are you done?
Honestly, I swear, you will never see me in the morning out and about and say, hey, did you not have a shower? I have to shower.
Really? Like first thing in the morning, you have to do it before you do anything else, before you have a coffee, before you do anything. You got to get up, clean up, you got to have a shower, get ready
out of bed,
that kind of stuff.
Scratch my nuts.
Shower? You're not a night shower? You don't shower at night?
You don't do that? No, never. I've showered in the morning my entire life. Mm-hmm. I've slept naked my entire life. I've showered every morning my entire life. Yeah,
that's like
I don't know what it is. I'm a very routine guy.
Yeah, you love routine. Routines help you. You're one of those guys. You're a little OCD though, right? You've admitted that. You've got a little OCD. You got a couple of things that you do that are like guide rails for you, and that's your routine. That's nice. I don't have the same routine. You want to know my morning routine? I get up 5:30, 6 o'clock, make a coffee, sit down, then I start reading. I start reading some self-help stuff. Might be some Stoic philosophy. It might be a news story. It might be some food for thought. When it comes to daily reading, it could be a variety of different things. And then I catch up on the day's news, and then I have a look at what I have to do. And then I go and send a couple of emails. That's around 8 o'clock. You send a couple of emails, get back to people you didn't the night before.
Can I interrupt?
And then I might shower. No. And then I might shower. And then I might not. But traditionally, I would shower right before the podcast because we've got the video version of the podcast now, which you can get at Crier Media. You can get it at YouTube version of Crier Media YouTube. You can get it on Twitter. You can get it on Loc's Facebook, his Twitter.
I have a YouTube.
And so I feel like I need to go back to my roots is what I think. I feel like I have to go back to my roots as a guy who was freewheeling. You'd show up to the radio studio at like 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, and you'd be fresh out of the wrapper because you like hustled in, you slept late, maybe had a couple cocktails the night before. I feel like I need to get back to my roots of that guy that does not shower when he goes to perform. That's what I feel like I have to do.
Well, I mean, I would encourage the shower thing because it wakes you up. But I just want to jump in, and I want to give you credit for having a couple of routines and things that I think will benefit you long term. That reading thing I think is awesome. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you say you're a reader.
Read. Yeah.
Yeah.
All leaders read. Not all readers lead, but all leaders read, ladies and gentlemen.
I will probably end up adding an element of that to my daily routine, if not soon. Yeah, because I've been thinking a lot about that. You know what? Since being let go, I've read 2 books.
Read or audiobooks? Read. Like you physically a page turner? Good for you. Reading is very important.
I've burned through a number of audiobooks, but I'm like literally sat down and read 2, and they were both yoga books. Light on Yoga, by the way, is a brilliant
that's what
book.
You did. That's what you read. Good for you. See, now here's the thing. A lot of people read and they're afraid of reading because they're bad readers when they grew up, or maybe didn't enjoy it in school, or feels too much like school. And I was one of those dudes.
When I was a kid.
And I got to the point where I was like, I don't want a book telling me what to do. So I stopped reading altogether from the ages of like 23, 24 till about, I would say 45. And then I realized how important reading was and what you could learn from reading, talking to the dead, as they say, people that have lived these experiences before us are like, whoa, don't do this, do that. And it's made a world of difference to me. And I would encourage everybody to read, because not only does it help you cognitively piece things together, have conversations, all that other jizz, but, I meant to say jazz, but I said jizz. Clearly, I'm not reading enough. But it takes you away from your life too. It's like occupational therapy, right? Like you can just sit there and read, and you can download information. And a lot of people, what prevents them from reading, and I was reading about this because I'm that guy, prevents them from reading or learning is knowing, like starting to read something and not getting it and feeling too stupid to get it. So you're not going to bother reading it.
So that does happen to me occasionally. I'll get into a book and I'm like, because I need to pay. I can't pay attention for more than a couple of minutes. So if I'm a page or two in, I'll read a page or two without even knowing that I read it. Like just like, what did I just do?
You find yourself 7 pages in, and you're like, I got to go back to the beginning because I have no idea what
I do that quite often. Yeah. That's just an attention span thing. But I do find it wildly entertaining that you have somehow decided that you've scheduled your life and that you have something that you can go look at to give you an indication of what it is that you're going to do that day, because that is complete bullshit. You live your life like literally. All right. You wait for your meetings to show up to you.
Sometimes, I'll wait for a text. I'll wait. Dude, who was an hour and a half late for yesterday's podcast? You. Who was 12 minutes late for today's podcast?
Okay,
not me.
Hold on. Yesterday's podcast, you bailed on me at 9. So I went and walked the dog, and then someone called me.
Meeting. Yeah, so I had a quick meeting. That was 20 minutes.
And when you told me what the meeting was,
for an hour. Yeah.
When you told me what the meeting was, I went downstairs and started to go for a walk. Because I was like, there's no way.
I told you it was 20 minutes. I told you it was 20 minutes. So you know what I can't wait for?
Knowing what I know about that meeting. No, hold on. Knowing what I know about that meeting yesterday, am I wrong to assume that one probably would have had some legs on it?
No, not because I end meetings. This is the other thing. I fucking meetings. Like I hate meetings more than anybody in the world that hates meetings. Like I've been asked to run, believe it or not, for office like 10 times. And I'm like, no. And they're like, why not? It'd be great. You could hustle in here. You could do that. You could make some change. You could do that. And I'm like, no. You know why? The meetings. I don't want to have any meetings with people. And you know what? You know how people look at like books and they get afraid because they're like, I'm too stupid. I look at meetings and I get afraid because I'm like, oh, they're too stupid. I'm going to be here for an hour on a 15-minute meeting, and nobody's going to get to the point, and everybody's going to want to talk about their vacation time this summer, and everybody's going to want to go, so Dean, how are things? How are things there? What's going on? Oh, I loved this when you did. Remember? And you're like, no, I don't want to talk about any of that
stuff.
You
don't hate meetings. You hate small talk.
Meeting. Oh, no, actually, I don't mind a little small talk, but what I really hate are hidden motives behind people's words. And the idea that people still, in the age of the internet, in the age of a pandemic, where all we did was have meetings online, still can't properly schedule a meeting online. Like point 1, point 2, point 3, we out. And do you know who is really bad at that?
Who? Me?
Yeah. You.
I don't schedule meetings. When's the last time I've scheduled a meeting with
you? You don't. Yeah. You just call, and then like there's no hi. There is no small talk with you. There's none of that. No, but you get right to the point, and then as soon as you get to the point, you then list your. No, you don't. You then list your grievances with your point, and then you start to spray that gun of blame around with people about your grievances, and then you say, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, and then you get off the phone.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm not even too sure what just happened here. However,
I'll tell you what I'll do a meeting, right? No problem. Sign me up. But I'm like you. All right. What's the point of the meeting? Why are we doing it? Is it just to justify your existence? If it's going to be, and I've said that to people, why are we doing this? What do you mean? It's a good idea. We should be meeting once a week. Nah. Okay. No. I want to plan before we go in, because now you just feel guilty about the paycheck that you're getting that you think you don't deserve because you have imposter syndrome. So now you're sitting there.
1,000%. Yeah.
Now you're sitting there going, how do I prove to the rest of the staff that already doesn't like me that we should be doing that I'm actually accomplishing something? I know.
Yeah.
We're going to do Wednesday meetings. They'll be fun. Once in a while, I'll
Brainstorm.
get pizza.
Those
brainstorming meetings.
Guys, we're gonna have a meeting to brainstorm the meeting. That was
Even
my favorite.
worse.
Radio was famous for that. Radio was super famous for. Okay, guys, we're gonna meet in the Alpine boardroom, and we're gonna talk about planning the big meeting. And you're like, okay, so this is a meeting to plan another meeting, and they're like, yeah. Well, I'll just skip this one, and we'll get to the next meeting. Well, you can input as to what goes into the meeting if you're not in the meeting for the input meeting. And I'm okay with that. I don't really care to have any input into it. They're like, don't you have any pride in your job?
Me anyway.
And I'm like, no, I don't. And then they'll say, but what about the muffins? And you're like, I don't give a fuck about the muffins. What I care about is my time, not your muffins, not your meeting to plan a meeting. Just tell me when I have to show up. Tell me what the execution plan is, and let's go get it. I fucking hate meetings. Hate them.
Oh my God. Here's the other one that I hate. We're having a meeting with somebody that's going to help you with this new idea, Loch. Okay, great. Excellent. Awesome. I love it. We're going to move this project forward for you. Boom. Okay, who's the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, his name's Terry. We're going to bring Terry in. Okay. Terry spends the first 30 minutes telling you why he's so good at the thing that you're doing and how he's going to be helpful. And all he does is just talk about the shit that he did in the past. So you sit there, you placate him because you don't want to be a dick, right? And you kind of let him, roll out his resume for you. I did this, but I'm going to send you some stuff. 25 minutes in, you go, all right, okay, so now new project. Great idea. Hey, send me all your thoughts. Hold on. We brought you in, Terry.
For your thoughts.
You're supposed to be an expert on this. And now I just had to listen to your bullshit life and all the reasons why you think you need to be a part of this project. And now I got to send you all my ideas.
Yeah, because they're my ideas. That was the whole point. He goes in to get ideas. Dude, the greatest gig in the world, and I've had a couple of them, is our consulting gigs. Consulting gig. Yeah.
You got any ideas
Ladies
for your show?
and gentlemen. Yeah. No, I'm a consultant. I'll give you ideas for your show. You say, what were you thinking about? And then this, because we had a consultant that did this. He was a humor consultant. No word to lie. Worked on the radio, humor consultant. We had a 40 share. Guys like, we need to make your show funny.
I may have stumbled across this guy too.
That'll be great. And our guy brings him in, and he's a comedian. Yeah, that's the guy. And so brings him in, and he sits down with us, and our boss leaves, and he's like, okay, you guys do a really top flight radio show. Listen this morning. I listen, I got no input, but these guys are giving me 10 grand a week. So why don't we just go breakfast? We'll have a couple drinks. Tell them that you got a lot out of it, and then we'll go from 1,000%. 1,000%. And I'm like, fucking sold. I said, we're supposed to be doing this all week long, right? He goes, yeah, we're supposed to do like 4 hours a day all week after your show.
You're buying breakfast.
I'm like, how about we do this? How about we do this? You take us for breakfast and drinks after every single show. We don't talk about anything other than fun shit. And then at around 1, 2 o'clock, we'll all get in cabs and go home safely. And you can go back and you can tell them that, yeah, we're the best and you had a great time and we all learned a lot and everybody wins. And he's like, fucking sold. I had the best week with a radio consultant of my life that week. All we did was go from bar to bar,
I bet you guys came up with a couple of ideas.
Absolutely none. Zero.
Really?
Not
Okay,
one idea.
right.
He didn't help us with anything. He was a humor coach is what he was. And I'm like, dude, this is incredible. Thank you so much. We had the best week. And then our boss at the time, Ross, who I really liked, nobody else did. He's like, what'd you guys think of this individual? I'm like, just a beauty, dude. Just a fucking beauty. Bring him back next month.
He has made me 10% funnier, Ross. He's made me 10% funnier.
He's like, really? I go, yeah. Those are some of the most productive meetings we've ever had.
Maybe 15. We're leaning on 15%. If you bring him back, we might even get to 20.
Yeah. 22 even. That's a possibility. Outside chance we can get 22. We might be able to grow the audience if you bring him back. Whoopity-doo.
You know what? With his help, we're going to increase the female listenership.
12-fold. Yeah, that's exactly what we'll do. I promise you we'll do that. Speaking of disasters,
25 to 34 are going to love this show now with his involvement. Oh my God.
I hate meetings. Anyway, they had a meeting at Nissan the other day. They did a big announcement this morning. And a couple of big announcements you need to be aware of if you're in the automotive industry. Now, I don't talk about the automotive industry at all because I don't care. I have a car, and I'm going to get to the story in just a second. And the car that I have is the reason I want to talk about this. So, everybody knows every single Cybertruck sold to date, 4,174 of them, I believe, have been recalled in total. You got to bring it back.
Oh, what's the problem with the Cybertruck?
Yeah, all of it. Everything,'s a problem.
I saw a couple of them when I was in California. They're spectacular to look at.
No, they're not. They're disgusting. They look like giant.
It's like seeing a UFO. It's like, what was that?
So the problem is that apparently you can't take it through a car wash because it shorts. The whole thing will short out. So they're trying to fix that. The glass roof cracks and breaks when it gets too hot. So they got to fix that. There's a plate on the gas pedal, the accelerator pedal, that falls off and jams the accelerator pedal. So at some point, you just take off and you can't fucking stop, which is really interesting. Yeah, it doesn't go through water or up hills, which is a real problem. And it's really bad in the snow, and God forbid it rains. So other than that, everything's good. The Cybertruck is a fucking disaster. And I laughed today because Nissan decided to do a big recall for any car. Any car.
2002 and 2006.
Made between 2002 and 2006, because the Takata airbags, as they age, explode like a motherfucker.
And they've killed people. I think like
several. A couple
30?
dozen.
Am I telling? Yeah, I think.
No. The Takata story, if you Google Takata airbags, you're going to see a whole bunch of illegality and collusion and stuff like that. But it was hilarious because it was like a 12-alarm blaze this morning. They're like, hey, everybody, if you have one of these cars.
Don't get in it. Don't just call Nissan. They'll come pick it up for you. We're not kidding. Like, we're not. We're laughing because of how over the top it was, but I saw this story on CBC and I was like, it sounds like they're going to run an air raid siren underneath of this story. They're really like, call Nissan right now. Don't get in
Seriously.
it. Don't turn the key. Leave it there. And the woman on the desk goes, so what are we supposed to do? Take the bus? I swear to God.
I guess so. Or an Uber. Several different modes of transportation. You can get in a cab. There's if you got a bike, it's not that bad side, depending on where you live. But 184,000
I have a rough idea of
vehicles.
What you make. Don't worry. You're not going to need to get into public transit because you don't have a 2002, 2006 Nissan.
Yeah, 184,000 vehicles. They say they might explode because apparently there's a compound in the airbag that they make, which over time turns toxic, and it starts to create pressure inside your steering wheel, and it can fucking explode. And it's nearly decapitated some people. Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool. And speaking of, it's like fucking everybody makes shit. It's like the catalytic converter mess back in the day. If you remember, there's a movie actually about it. Don Cheadle was in it. It was a really, really good movie where there was like so much pollution that came out of these cars. They had a solution for it called the catalytic converter, but it was going to be so expensive. They're like, don't bother. Let's just hide the fact that we're polluting the shit out of the Americas. Let's just forget about it. And that's why catalytic converters came around, because the Auto Workers Association,
straight pipe it.
The big three are like, yeah, just fucking kick it out there. I mean, look at the sky. It's full of blue. Like, I mean, there's lots of room for gray, dark shit. So very similar thing in the automotive industry. Everything's always a cover up. And you laugh now because you look at the Boeing story. The Boeing story is interesting because a new whistleblower dies of something weird every like 3 weeks. Happened again the other day where someone died. They're like, hey, we're putting shit parts on this thing. Now, the Nissan thing is interesting because it goes back to the airbags, and they've got a pretty cool safety record. The Tesla thing really bothers me. The Cybertruck one really bothers me because not only are these so unsafe that they're actually recalling them all and they've stopped selling them. People have cut their fingers off. It comes with like shutting the fucking trunk. Yeah, if you get your finger, it doesn't stop. It doesn't have any give. So if you chop your finger in the truck, it'll break or it'll chop your finger off. People are cutting their fucking legs opening the door because they're so sharp. Like, it comes with a warning. Be careful when you open the door. Yeah, dude. These things are bricking out of the gate. There's a great video of a dude that pulled one off the lot, and the whole thing just bricked. And it just kind of stopped.
Download
and it's like hundreds of them, and they've only sold like 4,000. So it's been an unmitigated mess, which sucks because it could be one of the things that sinks the company. And I know I fucking hate Tesla, and I know I hate Elon Musk. But I've been driving secretly, and I have to be honest with you, a Tesla for the past 3 months.
You're a turncoat and
I fucking love it. Oh my God, I love it. I love how the gas tank opens, even though it's not a gas tank, it's a charge portal. You press this little button, it pops open, you plug it in at night, you get in your car, you drive for 390 kilometers or 400 kilometers, whatever it is. Then you come back and you plug it in again, and you never go to a gas station. And the gadgets are actually way cooler than I thought they'd be. Yes.
Yes. You're such a douchebag.
I've been trying to hide it too. I've been trying to hide my Tesla purchase. But
do you know how many times you've been on this podcast
and
just
carve the guy? I know, and he's still an asshole. He's still a terrible fucking human being. He's still a ketamine freak. Like, I think the ketamine took hold after he started making the cars, and right before he started making the Cybertruck
individually.
No, I'm serious. And it bothers me because one reason only. I have now a self-interest, right? This is how we all work. Our values are dictated by our experiences and self-interest. And my self-interest is, and my values are, that I fucking love these Teslas. You never have to put gas in them. They go like stink. It drives itself, even though I don't do the self-driving thing because I'm an old fuck who has to have control over everything all the time. My kids love it. You can play video games while you're waiting to pick your son up at the grocery store that he works at, literally with your steering wheel. You can play driving games. You can watch Netflix on it. Dude, it is so fucking cool. Like, you get in the car, you can press a button 5 minutes before you get in and say, I'd like the cabin temperature to be 21 degrees, please, on a day where it's like 45. Sure enough, you get in, it's 21 degrees. Your seat setting's the same place. The car is a dime. Nothing goes wrong with it so far. It's only been 30 days, and I know a lot can happen after 30 days. But for the first time, I say this, I hope Elon Musk makes it.
I'm disgusted.
I do. I know.
I'm mortified.
Well, dude, I'm like everybody else. I'm like everybody else to the point where I'm like,
not everyone's a dick.
But dude, like, have you ever not had to get gas ever? Have you ever plugged your car in when you got home and just walked in and gone out and it's just juiced up again? Have you ever driven a Tesla?
Go back and read some of the stuff you wrote about Elon Musk and said about Elon Musk. And dude, I was even I was just like, why? Like, why do you hate him so much? There was like a month-long campaign where you just decided that, all right, I'm going to dedicate the month of March to shitting all over this one individual man for no reason at all.
Well, pretty good reason, because he bought Twitter and he tubed it. And
then you bought his car.
Used.
Yeah, you're raging. Yeah. Can I tell a quick catalytic story update? Because
finish. You said you were raging. Raging what?
No, I'm kidding.
No, go ahead. Call me a name. Raging what? Like hypocrite, lunatic, hippie?
I don't need to say anything more. I think everyone else will fill in the blanks. Okay, now here's
not
the
a hypocrite. They're the best.
Now that you're
God, they're the best cars. They're the fucking best. And I'm sure Rivian's great. I'm sure their Polestar's awesome. But it's like it's literally blown my mind.
Just based on what you should have done, you should have bought another brand.
Sad. I know, but it makes me
now
sad.
I'm actually hoping the company goes tits up. Okay. I feel obligated to mention this now that we talked about catalytic converters, because this is a Western Canadian thing. And I don't think a lot of people know this. There's a lot of catalytic converter. Do you have the same problem in Ontario?
People stealing catalytic converters?
Thefts?
Yeah,
and then taking
They're getting under the car,
because the metals,
taking a saw to it. Yeah, the precious metals in them are worth a lot of money. Yeah. The filter.
if you happen to catch somebody underneath of your car stealing a catalytic converter, you are legally allowed to drag them out from underneath the car and beat them senseless with a hockey stick.
No, you're not.
Honestly, you are.
No, you're not.
And a lot of people don't know this. There's a loophole in the legal system where if you do that and the cops show up, there's a good chance they'll go, "Oh, did he fall getting out from underneath of the car?"
I was thinking too while you're talking about it, all the effort that you go into going to get like a saw, going underneath someone's car, taking an hour to saw the thing off, maybe do that 3-4 times in a night. You know how much harder that is than just getting a job? You know how much more difficult it is than just sitting behind the desk at like a library? Anyway, just kind of dawned on me. The other thing in Western
there's
Canada,
nothing I hate more. Nothing I hate more than someone stealing those things. It is just, it makes me so angry. We used to do that bit, I'd say once a month on the locker room, where I would go on and I would tell people that they were allowed to beat a guy with a hockey stick if they were underneath the car stealing a catalytic. And people would take me seriously every once in a while. They wouldn't hear the tone. And they'd call up and go, I'll lock it just for your own safety. I don't think it's a good idea to beat a guy senseless with a hockey stick if he's stealing your catalytic converter. Thanks, Jerry. All right. I'll take that under advisement.
The other thing that's extremely Western Canadian too, other than the theft of catalytic converters, here we steal the whole cars. Like we just, and police here are basically saying, "Hey, listen, if you've got a nice car, put your car keys on a dish in the front foyer for the robbers to steal your car, because you don't want them doing a home invasion and car theft. So just let them just do the car theft." And everybody's
that's
like,
"Not a
fuck
thing."
themselves. People, dude, it was Toronto Police Services (TPS) the other day.
No,
they're like, "Hey,
I don't want to hear this.
Dude, Google it." They're like, leave your keys in a dish at the front door in case you're in a neighborhood where there's like a lot of high value vehicles that keep getting pinched. And then they're like, no, dude, it was a huge story here about a month and a half ago. But that is uniquely Ontario, because Toronto is full of really rich assholes who like to drive Bentleys and leave them in the fucking front yard, and they don't bother locking them up because nothing bad can ever happen to them. Well, people are going to steal those cars. There you go. What do you got there? What are you doing?
Welcome to Edmonton. Sorry about your catalytic converter. If you go to the Lochlin merch page, you can buy that.
You can buy that? All right. That's an interesting shirt. But the fascinating part is that in Western Canada, a uniquely interesting province when it comes to itself, the PT Cruiser
car thefts
seems to be here. Not the PT Cruiser, which I'm shocked. I was out in Calgary probably 2-3 weeks ago doing the David Parker interview podcast, and by the way, just released a promo for it. So if you want to go and download or subscribe to our podcast, it's going to come out in the next 3 to 4 weeks. I could not believe, like cars that you never see around here, right? I could not believe how many people in Western Canada, specifically in the province of Alberta, specifically in the city of Calgary, still drive PT Cruisers.
It's a Western Canadian thing. I used to make fun of anybody that drove a PT Cruiser. I'm turning a corner on that, because you still see these vehicles. And listen, I don't want to disparage the vehicle, because I'm past the point of ridicule. If you have a PT Cruiser and you've kept that on the road, you're a hero. They stopped making these things. In 2008, I think, is when they stopped officially punching those things out, and they stopped selling them completely in 2010. And not only do you see these things around, if you drive on the prairies and you're on the road for more than an hour, you're going to see a PT Cruiser. It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. 100%. I saw one last week on a drive, and not only was it a PT Cruiser, it was one of those 4-door ones. Do you remember that? They decided that they were going to do a 4-door.
PT Cruiser XL. Yeah.
And it was it's as long as an F-150. I almost pulled like that guy over just to shake his hand. I was literally, listen, Get over here. Give me a hug. This thing gotta have 3, 4, 500,000, and it's a Plymouth. If you've kept that thing on the road for that long,
I mean, does Plymouth even still make vehicles? I don't think they do. I think Plymouth is a dead brand, is it not? And it's a Chrysler, not a Plymouth. It's not a Plymouth PT Cruiser. It's a Chrysler, but Chrysler Plymouth was the same company, and then Plymouth imploded into Chrysler. Chrysler became Daimler Chrysler.
Yes.
And then Daimler left Chrysler. Now it's like Daimler Fiat, I think.
I think you're right. I think it did start out as a Plymouth.
But I believe the PT Cruiser was like the car that it's like the PT Cruiser is to Chrysler what the Cybertruck is to Elon Musk. It basically destroyed the brand, which is my whole point. I'm like, holy fuck, I hope this Cybertruck exercise doesn't sink Tesla because I really love driving those cars. Like, really love driving those cars. Really love it. And you're never going to be, and that's the other thing. That's why people still drive those PT Cruisers. They're like, nobody else has. What's that?
Are you being paid somehow to promote this company now?
No.
Don't lie to me.
What, Tesla?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I would take all the money.
We're not going to be doing live reads soon because we're already. You're a major hypocrite already for driving it. Yeah, thank you. But if you're taking money,
you wouldn't believe how many people give you the finger.
It's going to be worse
too, just for driving it. Like how many people give you the finger? I was thinking about it. I'm wondering. Oh yeah, dude, people give you the finger in because they're like you're a douchebag because you drive a Tesla. And I'm like, I get it. I wouldn't let me in either. Yeah, because I used to do that to people that drove Teslas when I didn't drive one. You're like, I'm not letting you in. You're a douchebag.
If you're listening to this podcast right now
tracking device,
you drive a Tesla, yay or nay, let us know if you get the finger on the roads. That's funny. Sure
people do, dude. Yeah, if people hate Elon Musk, they will give me the finger just for driving that car. And I'm like, I 100% get it. But you can't beat it. You cannot. You
just got to give them this.
Hi, how are you?
When they do. Yeah.
What color is
what's your color? What color is your? Oh, you got a douchebag black one.
It's not douchebag black. It's just black.
Okay. You sure? You might want to look.
100%.
There is a douchebag black.
That's not black. I believe you're calling. No, it's not matte black. It's just black. Glossy black.
I like the matte black vehicle.
You get in the car. It's exactly the temperature you want it to be. It's fully charged. It's got regenerative braking, which means every time you take your foot off the gas, it actually charges the battery, which is fucking crazy. And it parks itself. It drives itself. You hit the gear shift twice. And this will drive any freedom lover crazy, any conservative crazy, any neo-Christian crazy, is that when you connect to auto drive, like when you connect to auto drive, it has a little screen, and the screen turns, ladies and gentlemen, the screen goes woke, goes full rainbow. And the rainbow is the lane that it's trying to stay in between the two lanes. It's got cameras all around it, and it can see the lanes, and it's like, but the rainbow is a rainbow lane. The lane, when you self-drive, turns into an LGBTQ flag, which I found very, very interesting. Yeah. At least my car does. I don't know if you can change that on other people's cars, but I imagine a guy like Elon Musk who hates,
you could probably program that,
and probably pretty upset, or at least he did it as a prank. Either way,
they might have done it to piss off Elon Musk as well.
Yeah,
right.
I think they did.
They're trolling their boss.
I don't know.
That sounds trolling their boss. I think it is. I think based on his comments, that wasn't that long ago. I bet you got a new model, and I bet you that was somebody in the development department at Tesla,
in the UX department of Tesla, who's like, hey, you know what? Let's really fuck with this guy and make the self-driving mode full rainbow LGBTQIA flag, which it is. It's like every single color. The whole road changes color, and I'm like, I wonder if he knows about that. But I'm telling you, dude, I feel like a traitor. Yes, I feel like a turncoat. Yes, I feel like I put my values down, but they are fucking awesome cars. They really are.
Everybody that I know that's driven a Tesla, not that I'm trying to get you off the hook here, but everybody that I know has said the same thing. They absolutely love the vehicles. We talked about an electric vehicle, right? Because the wife and I, we want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So we've had that conversation. Western Canada is not ready to go. And we drive and we camp and that kind of stuff. So we go long distances, and it's a little bit more difficult in Alberta, Saskatchewan. BC is a bit better because of the lack of charging stations, right?
Do you not see a lot of them out there because it's like Alberta isn't overly friendly to
more now.
electric vehicles? Are there really?
Yeah. There's more now, but we got a hybrid. So you fill it up and it charges itself as well. So if it has enough charge, it'll run off the battery. But if it doesn't, and so if you're going a long distance, if you're going camping or whatever, and you're driving 6-7 hours.
For driving a hybrid in Alberta, do people like look at you or say?
We didn't get it yet.
No. Oh, no, you just got the other.
Well,
okay. Dude, people are going to mock you, especially in that province. Like, I know a guy that has a Tesla in Calgary. I won't give you his name. He has had to replace or get his doors or scratch marks fixed on his car. He said something 11 or 8 times. Where he's walked out of business.
I didn't know that was
car. People kick his car because he's driving an electric car because he's not supporting the oil sands. Yeah. They fucking get angry.
That's stupid.
I know, dude.
That's
I know.
If you're driving just around the city like you are, electric vehicle makes sense, right? Like you're not going camping. You're not going distances, right? So it makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to shift gears? You see what I did there?
Yeah, I do.
Game 4 tonight. The Oilers. Are you watching? You're not watching.
6 o'clock.
6:30 our time. So 8:30.
8:30. 8:30. Yeah, I'll watch the first 2 periods. That's bedtime for me. I go to bed at 10:30. I'm a very disciplined person. But I'm really enjoying the anger. Really, you can't watch it. Is Deb going to watch it?
No, we got a pickleball match tonight.
Are you fucking serious?
You're going to miss
game 4. You're going to miss game 4 of the Oilers Western Conference Final.
We signed up for pickleball a couple of months back. I can't really.
Pickleball? Are you serious right now? We signed up for pickleball a couple of months back. You go to pickleball time, dude. This doesn't happen all the time. What do you do? Yeah, I know it's the league.
We signed up for the league. The games are Wednesday nights. I can't do anything.
Oh, is there a trophy? Yes, you can. You don't have to show up. You can forfeit.
No.
What are you doing?
We paid our money.
No, it doesn't. How much did you pay? Yeah, how much did you pay for pickleball?
$100. Wife and
$200. How many pickleball games?
Tonight's my first. I'm excited. I know
you're excited, but you're missing like a once in a lifetime opportunity. People are going to talk about the Western Conference Final for probably a couple of years because they'll continue to do this. And
I think Edmonton's going to bounce back tonight.
Great, but you're still not going to be able to watch it because you're picking pickleball. Like, that's how you know, dude. That's how you know you've arrived at, like, get off my lawn age, is you're choosing pickleball over watching the Western Conference Final game 4 tonight.
I'm going to be wearing a Tilly hat and playing pickleball. I might go get the hat and wear the hat at pickleball. No, I'm excited about pickleball. And listen, the Oilers are going to bounce back tonight. Guaranteed. I'm calling it right now. There's no chance that team goes down 3-1 in front of a home crowd. It's not
I've said
happening.
That for 7 years. There's no chance we're going to lose in game 7 again.
No, you always encourage game 7 losses. I don't know what you're talking about. You love them.
I know.
Toronto's learned to love the game 7 losses. No, here's the thing. Dallas has been outplayed overall. If you take a look at these 3 games, you take a look at game 1, game 2, game 3. If you don't look at the scoreboard and just watch that, just turn the sound off and watch those 2 teams play. This is the infuriating part for Oilers fans, and you can feel it. It's palatable. You can see it on the faces of people walking around the streets of Edmonton. Just go for a walk today. They are so frustrated with this Dallas team. They just freaking hang around. They're just hanging around. They're just hanging around, biding their, they take their chances when And you know what? People are crapping all over Skinner. And yes, there was a couple of goals where I was like, come on, Skinner. You should have got that one. The thing that drives me crazy about this Dallas team, and there's always a team like this every year, there seems to be a team that for whatever reason, they shouldn't be where they are, but they're just, they go behind 2 goals, but then, okay, all right, they're back in it. All of a sudden, they're back in it. And then all of a sudden, they're winning the game they didn't deserve to win. That was definitely the case. Like, Edmonton barely squeaked out a win in game 1, and they dominated. They let the foot off the gas in the second period of game 3, which, listen, needs to be addressed. They let in 3 goals in that third period, tied it up, or in the second period, tied it up before the beginning of the third period. But I'm telling you, it's so frustrating as an Oilers fan.
It's frustrating for the same
reason.
It's so frustrating for the same reason it was frustrating for Leaf fans every year, because you don't have any goal.
It's different though.
You've
the
got
Leafs never had a hope in hell.
And it is different, but it's the same systemic problem at the end. Like I watched part of game 2, and you're right, the Oilers were all over him like ugly on an ape. And Ottinger stood on his fucking head in game 2, and then he did it again in game 3. And Jeff Skinner, Ottinger, it's no contest, and it's just it happens every single time to the Oilers and the Leafs.
Goalie problem.
And it's sad. No, it's Darnell Nurse's problem too. Cody CC is also a bit of a problem. Also, we haven't really seen the best from Evander Kane. Also, their third and fourth line sucks. So Darnell Nurse.
Third and fourth line actually have been okay though. They've contributed a bit. They've gotten a couple of goals.
Yeah.
Game 2, Draisaitl and McDavid were held off the score sheet. They got nothing. And I think they only got a handful of shots between the two of them too. Like even just shots on net. But you still watch the play, and Edmonton has the puck the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and you're like, what's going on here? What? Hold on.
They're a great puck possession team, but then they don't get the same chances, and the same chances they get, higher save percentage with Ottinger just stops the same chances that go the other way, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy all the time.
The series is going to be 2-2 after tonight. Sucks. Yeah,
I hope so.
I'm going to dominate really on the pickleball court.
Yeah, terrible decision. I cannot believe you made it, but good for you for going. Hopefully you and Deb have a great time. That's it for us. You got anything else you want to add? Anything else?
One thing, just a quick question.
Yeah.
I'll tell this story. We don't need to make it. We don't need to draw it out. But 2 guys were walking past my house. This was yesterday, and it was later in the afternoon, around dinner time. We were just talking about going downstairs and getting dinner together, making dinner together. And my wife says to me, she says, "Loch, get down here." And I'm like, I'm coming. And she goes, no. There's 2 guys in hoodies pulled over their heads, and they just took a picture of our house. And then they started walking. And so I'm like, what? Why would they do that? They didn't drive there. They were walking there. Okay. So I was really bothered by it. And my wife was bothered by it. So, and it didn't look like, it wasn't like there's no real estate signs on our block, on this block or anything like that. It was none of that. And it was younger guys. And so I threw my shoes on quickly and I followed them, and I'm like, hey. And I caught their attention. They didn't try to run away. And I said, what are you taking pictures of my house for? There was a bit of a language barrier. And so they were very broken English. But he pulled his phone out to show me, and he had taken a bunch of pictures of homes randomly, and because I walk the dog every day, randomly of our neighborhood. And the one guy looked pretty sketch. The guy that had his phone out, I don't have a beat on him. But he was like, what's wrong? And he starts showing me his pictures. Like, so what? And I'm like, why? And he didn't have an answer, and we just sort of had an awkward departure, and he walked away. What the hell? Any thoughts?
So So you just watched two guys take pictures of your house for how long? How long were they standing there? Was it just your house?
They stopped. They were having a quick conversation. They pulled their phone out, took a picture, and then just turned around and walked away.
I'd ask you what color they were, but then I'd be racist, so I won't ask you that.
I don't think this is a race thing. Can I tell you what they were?
Please.
They were Asian. They were of Asian descent. So they could have been Korean. They
couple
were
Asian
obviously
dudes
English was
around,
second language.
taking pictures. Yeah. Were they aggressive when you approached them? Were you like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?" Were they aggressive or were they like demure? No. I'm just taking pictures. Just enjoying taking pictures of people's houses.
A little bit.
No excuse.
No excuse. Didn't have an answer. I kept asking, "Why are you taking pictures of my house?" And he thought the answer was, him showing me that he had taken some pictures of the homes in our neighborhood.
Maybe he's a real estate agent.
No, this was not. This was not a real estate agent.
Maybe he's a Chinese. Markham has a lot of those, by the way.
No.
Fuck, that's really weird. That's totally weird.
When you have I've had people guy coming after you too, and I was yelling. Yeah. I was like, "Hey, stop!" I mean, they could have run.
I had a dude go through my garbage after the Canada Proud lawsuit was launched against us. Watched him do it, and I'm like, "That's not a recycling guy." And walked outside, and he split, like ran. And I'm like, I'm standing there in my underwear and my t-shirt. I'm like, I'm not chasing the guy down the street.
See,
so but going through to your point, pretty fucking disconcerting because someone's taking a picture of your home where you live with your wife. That's your abode. That's your safety net. That's where you go to relax. That's where you go to be safe from everything. That's where you go to make dinner. That's where you go to sleep. You got some guy randomly standing there for a minute or two taking pictures of your house. It's gotta be worrisome. I mean, it worried me when someone was going through my garbage, but all he got was a whole bunch of eggs in the recycling because I don't separate my recycling, so the joke's on him.
The guy that showed me his phone, a little bit taller than the other guy, and the smaller guy looked like he was ready for confrontation. Like if I had, decided I was gonna square up.
Weird. Yeah.
I think that the smaller guy would come at me. Is the sense that I got, and I'm not scared.
The one guy was ready to scrap.
And the other guy was just like trying to put on a very what's wrong with you kind of look. Why do you have a problem with me taking pictures of your house?
And that will rattle people for days too, right? Where and it clearly has. I know we talked about it briefly the other day. Yeah, that you've got people running around taking pictures of your houses in your neighborhood, and then it's okay to take a picture of another person's house, but when you see them taking a picture of yours, and it's not uncommon, right? Obviously, real estate agents do run around and they take pictures of houses, pictures of streets. Here are the comparables. Your house isn't for sale.
Transit. No, and there's not a house on our block, on our side of the block that's for sale. There's a house across the street that's for sale, but it's sold. It's an old I don't think anybody's
maybe that was maybe that was the deal. Maybe the guys bought the house across the street, took a picture of that house, and we're sending pictures back home. This happens a lot in Markham. Well, the language barrier would dictate that maybe they can't tell you that, right? So maybe that's what they did. Maybe they're taking a picture of the house across the street, and they're sending pictures back home to their mom in whatever building she lives in, and they're like, look at this beautiful new area we're going to live in as a family in this country. We're going to come over here and take a bunch of stuff, and we're going to have a great time. And she's like, oh, that's beautiful. Maybe that was it. Maybe you don't have anything to worry about. Maybe you don't. Who knows? All I know is I would
maybe I don't know. Maybe there's students and their family is moving here.
Maybe.
That's actually the only reasonable explanation that I've heard or thought about. That makes sense. Because they did look like they could be students.
Probably are. And probably this is where they're going to rent, or maybe they bought a place in the area and they're sending pictures back to show everybody this is where we live. This is, beautiful
this is the
town,
type of
city of
homes
Edmonton.
In the area. Maybe.
This is a guy.
Okay.
This big, tall asshole across the street that has a hard time using his snowblower in the winter. and this is who we're going to target for the next year. Maybe that was it too.
Also, we're gonna have Stacy on soon from Arden Roof Systems. We'll chat a little bit about his involvement with the Child Life Program, the Stollery, because we actually just did a tour and there's a video coming, so that'll be sometime next week. Arden Roof Systems golf tournament not sold out yet, and I'm pushing this because I want to sell this thing out on July 5th at the Ranch Golf and Country Club, because this is a guy that has raised $65,000 with just 4 tournaments, and he wants to break $100,000 this year. That's kind of his goal. So we've got a lot of work to do. Anything you can do to help out from the silent auction donation or
they need silent auction stuff so that you can still sponsor a hole, you can still buy a foursome, and if you've got some stuff you want to donate for silent auction, and the Stollery Children's Hospital has come in handy for you, or if not, you've just got a great big heart and you want to help out, and you know that Stacy's a good person who puts his money where his mouth is always. ArdenRoofSystems.com. There is a link on the front page of the website. You can donate, you can check out their golf tournament, you can give them money for sponsorship, partnership, you can buy a foursome, etc. And as Lochlin said, goes to the Child Life Program at Stollery Children's Hospital, which helps kids kind of forget about their sickness. It takes them into different environments that they're able to build, like beaches and stuff like that. There's a video, and I think there's a little multimedia presentation.
Forest is opening soon. The outdoor section, plate section.
That's awesome.
Yeah. $5 million project, 5 years, $5 million project. Yeah, unbelievable.
Wow.
We got to see it. We weren't allowed out there because they were still under construction, but the plan is to have that open by August as well. Anyway, that'll be in the video that we get to show everybody hopefully next week. And Dean is coming to the tournament to golf with me. We'll be auctioning off a twosome for that. So more details coming on that. And when he gets here, he's going to rent a Tesla.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
And then we're going to drive up and down the white mud and see how many times we get fingered.
No, I'm not. No one's getting fingered. No one's driving a Tesla. You're going to be driving around in your Subaru. That's what you're going to do to and from the golf course. I am not getting
I might have the new Toyota.
Did you get a Prius?
Okay, but no, we bought a RAV4. And if you buy anything now that isn't like a gas vehicle in Alberta, it
takes 2 years.
3, 4, 5, 6 month wait.
Yeah, it takes forever.
I literally said this when we started shopping, and we were shopping for like hybrids. You can't get them; they're impossible to get. I said to one guy, because I was frustrated, I said, you may want to stop running the ads. And he's like, "What?" I said, "Every time you turn on the TV, you guys are advertising that you have this vehicle. We're here to buy this vehicle, and you're telling me that I got to wait 9 months for it?" It was another company. It was a different company. And he's like, "Oh," he didn't know what to say to me. I'm like, "It's frustrating." He goes, "Well, if you go..."
Well, dude, when I was trying to buy a car, I wanted to buy an EV and wanted to get like a hybrid. Hybrids were so fucking expensive. There's a premium on them, and so I had to go electric.
Yeah, no whining. You bought a Tesla. You're not allowed to complain about the cost of a vehicle. Nice try.
Correct. Hey, go protect yourself from those Asian students that were showing their neighborhood.
It was a little off-putting. It was
no. Chase those fuckers down.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. It's what happens at 54. People that take pictures in your neighborhood need to be chased down if you're Lochlin Cross. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Thanks to our partners for making this possible. Use on the Mic, the podcast. It is an educational podcast for sex workers, people in the sex work industry. Muse on the Mic, redefining provocative massage. Get their new podcast and check them out online at musemassagespa.com. But make sure you download and subscribe to their podcast anywhere you get your fine podcasts. If you want to learn about the sex trade, if you want to be advocates for sex work, if you want to learn about sex itself, if you want to learn about what it's like to go to a parlor, it doesn't matter. These girls were in the industry for a long time. Now they educate, they teach, and they help people understand the industry. So Muse on the Mic, the podcast, anywhere you get your fine podcasts, including their Patreon version, and of course on YouTube. Thanks to our friends over at Cantork who make this possible every single day. They make rugged, hardworking torque wrenches. Get in touch with Cantork today, Canada's leading industrial tool experts. Colin's awesome. He's been making the very best in custom fabricated industrial torque tools for like 20 years. Started out with one tool. Now he's got solutions for any bolting solution that you need a solution for. Looting, fastening, doesn't matter what it is, heavy industry, railroad, nuclear, forestry, steel. If you're looking for a bolting solution, tunnel boring, he does for heavy industry around the world, and he makes custom fabricated solutions, maintains them, calibrates them, rents them, services them, and sells them. And he's looking for distributors. So go to the website, check out all their products, cantorque.com, their services, their news, their podcasts in the podcast section, and learn a little bit about one of Canada's greatest manufacturers, cantorque.com. Also, we're brought to you by Fact Check. If you're looking for a way to navigate information online in a trusted manner, our friends at Fact Check have it figured out. Go to factcheck.io for more details, but they need Fact Check verified fact checkers. They need beta testers for the program. Any picture, video, spoken word, anything with the URL, anything with text. They'll be able to chase that down and give you a full report over whether or not you should or shouldn't believe it, and then you make that decision, and we need people to beta test it. So go to factcheck.io, factcheck.io today and become a verified fact checker. Test out their beta program. It's you and me, kids. Just you and me. Just you and me talking about how you can make sure that you navigate the online world with some accountability. Factcheck.io. Have a great day. Don't forget to download, subscribe, rate, review anywhere you get these podcasts, including YouTube. Crier Media's YouTube channel is there. The Dean Blundell Show is there as well. Anywhere you get us on socials, Twitter, @it's Dean Blundell, the Crier Media on Twitter, and Crier Media on Facebook, Instagram, etc. And make sure, friends, you get the Down by Two podcast with Josh Elijah. We are now credentialed for the Toronto Blue Jays, the PGA Tour and Canadian Open. We'll be covering that this week. So again, go to Crier Media for all those details and check it out this weekend. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Again, appreciate your time. Can't get more time, you can get more stuff. So when you give us your time and not your stuff, we're pretty happy about it. Anyway, thanks. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye.